Hi, my friends. Welcome to your SEL lesson. It is Tuesday, April 27th. Thanks for joining me for today's story. Did you know that we finished Unit 3? Amazing! In Unit 3, we talked all about communication. What do you remember about having effective communication? I heard some great ideas. You got it. It involves actively listening and responding. Awesome. Did you know that you can use communication and the things that you learn in our next unit? Unit 4 is called problem solving. I wonder how you can use communication to problem solve. What do you think? Hmm. Keep those ideas in mind for today's story. It is called The Sleep Under. What? Friends, have you ever disagreed with your friend about what to do together? What did you do to solve this problem? Interesting ideas, my friends. I wonder if the characters in this story will use any of those strategies. Did you know that it's okay to feel differently than someone else, but it is important to talk to each other so that you can understand the problem and you can find a solution together? In this story, one child doesn't want to do what her friends want to do, but she's afraid to tell them and ruin their plans. When she finally shares her feelings, they are able to figure out a new plan and that works for everyone. So, as I read the story, pay attention to the problem that arises when the characters feel differently about the same thing and what they do about this problem. Creepy creatures and ghastly goblins, said Michaela, reading the cover of Gabriel's new book. That's perfect for the sleep under tonight. We can bring flashlights and tell scary stories. Yeah, it's going to be awesome, agreed Gabriel. Just then, Max and his twin sister Maddie came across the school playground to say hello. What are you two doing tonight? Max asked. My brother said, My brother has a baseball game at the park, said Kayla. So we're going to have a sleep under there. Do you want to come too? I wonder what a sleep under is. So interested. Don't you mean sleep over? Asked Max. I think it's too dark and chilly to sleep at the park. No, it's a sleep under, explained Gabriel. It's kind of like a sleepover, but it only lasts until bedtime and then you go home. Max and Maddie thought that sounded like a lot of fun. Okay, said Kayla. Meet us at the baseball fields tonight at 6 o'clock. Wear your pajamas and don't forget to bring blankets, pillows, and flashlights. The kids could hardly wait for the end of the day. That evening, Maddie and Max arrived at the park with their mom. They found Kayla and Gabriel at the baseball fields with their families. We brought everything you said, Max told them excitedly, and popcorn too. Great, said Kayla. Let's get going to the treehouse. Have you heard a problem yet? Me neither. Everything seems to be going really smoothly. Oh, we're going to the treehouse? Asked Max. I thought we were going to stay here. Yeah, replied Gabriel as he picked up his pillow and started walking. The treehouse is just right over there, and it will be a lot quieter. Max glanced at Maddie, but she just shrugged her shoulders and started walking. Max took his head and gave a big sorry. Max shook his head and gave a big sigh as he followed her. What do you think Max is thinking? Hmm, maybe you're right. He gave a big sigh. He seemed a little disappointed that they were going to the treehouse, and look at his face. I think you're right. I don't think he wants to go to the treehouse. I wonder if he'll tell his friends. As they walked to the treehouse, Kayla and Gabriel told their friends about the last sleep under they had there. They hung blankets over the treehouse windows to make it nice and dark so they could play games by flashlight. You're being awfully quiet, Maddie, Kayla suddenly noticed. Oh, I was just thinking about the treehouse, Maddie replied. I've never been inside. Well, then tonight will be even more fun, grinned Kayla. Wait a second. Does Maddie look happy about going to the treehouse? Mm-mm. Maybe she's a little bit nervous? I wonder why they haven't said anything. When the kids arrived at the treehouse, Maddie looked nervously at the tall tree. You can start taking things up, she told her friends, and I'll stay down here with the rest of our stuff. Max put his hands on his hips and looked at Maddie, but she just turned away and handed Gabriel the bag of popcorn. Why do you think Maddie said that she would stay behind? Yeah, maybe she is scared, but scared of what? Let's find out. Maddie frowned as she watched the kids climb up and down the treehouse ladder with all their things. Are you coming now? Gabriel called. I don't want to go up there, thought Maddie, but she just nodded her head. What? Oh no. Do you think she should have said something? Maybe. What could she have said? Yeah, it's okay to be honest with your friends. If you say something like, I'm a little bit nervous to climb the tree, or I don't know how I feel about going up there, as long as you voice how you're feeling, then your friends can try and help you. So if she told someone that she was scared, what do you think her friends would have done? Do you think they would have gotten upset? No, maybe they would have tried to help her. Let's see what happens. As Maddie cautiously walked over to the tall tree, her brother suddenly stepped in front of her. Do you want to tell them now? He asked. Maddie shook her head. I don't want to ruin the sleep under for everyone. She said, maybe I should just ask Mom to take me home. It's up to you, Max said, but I think it's okay to say how you feel. That's what we just said. Wow. Max is showing so much kindness. Maddie should totally say how she's feeling to her friends. Hey, everything is ready, called Gabriel and Kayla as they climbed down the ladder. Maddie stopped to take a deep breath and finally told her friends how she felt. I don't want to go in the treehouse because I don't like being up that high. I don't even like going in the jungle gym at school, and that's a lot shorter than this tree. I wanted to tell you, but I didn't want to ruin the sleep under. She looked at her friends nervously. How do you think they'll react? Let's find out. And her friends smiled at her. Next time, just stop and talk to us about it right away, said Gabriel. I used to be really scared to climb up there, too. Okay, said Kayla. So here's the situation. Maddie doesn't want to go in the treehouse, so we need to figure out a solution. The kids talked about going back to the baseball game instead, but everyone still really wanted to have a sleep under. I wonder what kind of solution they can come to. How do you think they will solve the problem? Those are really good ideas. I have an idea, Kayla said excitedly. What if we just move the sleep under down here? The kids thought this was a great idea, so they hung some blankets from a low branch on the tree to make a fort. After they piled their pillows inside, it was the perfect place for a sleep under. Wow, did Maddie have to climb the big tree? Mm-mm. That's so kind that her friends made her feel more comfortable by not making her climb the tree. The kids read some scary stories from Gabriel's Creepy Creatures book, and then they made up some of their own. Maddie made up a story about being in a haunted treehouse at the top of a very tall tree, and it was pretty scary. Thanks for changing the sleep under plans for me, Maddie said to her friends. Sure, Gabriel answered. It's okay that we disagree sometimes. We figured out a new way to have a sleep under, and this was a lot of fun too. When their families came over to the treehouse after the baseball game and heard how much fun the kids were having, they decided to set up their own chairs and blankets and join the sleep under. Everyone told stories and ate popcorn until the stars began to shine brightly in the sky. And then it was time to go home. They all decided that this had been the best sleep under ever. Friends. How did Maddie's friends make her feel more comfortable? Yeah, they made a tiny little change to their plans. Was it a big deal? No way, Jose. So, my friends, I want you to think, have you ever disagreed with your friends? I'm sure we all have. What did you do to try and solve the problem? I heard some of you say that you used your voice. I heard some of you say that you didn't do anything. What? What could you do when you do disagree with your friends? Is it okay to use your voice? For sure. My friends, why is it important to discuss how you're feeling? You're right. Just like in the story, if Maddie didn't say anything and she climbed the tree anyway, she would have been super uncomfortable. Do you want any of your friends to feel uncomfortable? Do you want to feel uncomfortable? Mm-mm. So, my friends, whenever there is a problem, there are some steps that you can take. Step one, you can stop and calm down. What's the first step? You got it. Step two, talk so you can identify and understand the problem. What's step two? You're right. Talk about the problem. Step three is to think of a solution. What's step three? You're right. And last but not least, try a solution and see how it works for everyone. What's step four? Try a solution. You're right. My friends, these are four simple steps that you can try next time you disagree with a friend, a family member, a sibling, whomever. So, friends, keep this learning in your brains for next time when you have a problem that you need to solve with someone that you love. Thanks for listening to my story.